So I just wanted to show you a really cool little gadget. It's called a Firewood Buddy, and it's just a magnetic piece of fiberglass. I think it's fiberglass that you put on your bar, and standard commercial for sale firewood is 16 inches. My stove, I use 12. It's a smaller stove. So I just go down and I make a mark every 16 inches, and then I cut them off, and then all my pieces of firewood, after I split them and stack them, they make a nice stack. They're all the same length. You know, a couple extra minutes really makes a difference in the quality of your end product, right? Take your time, do it right. Same thing with recovery. Take your time, do it right. You got to make it experience and not work out perfect every time, as we saw here. But I think it really helps. Take your time and do it right. All right, I did a little bit of bucking here. I just want to take a break and show you what I've done. So that's the notch. That was the first round, and you can see plenty of ant damage there. So that piece is totally no good. This is the next piece. You can see how much less damage there is. I don't know if it's good or not. Now this end is still way too much. That's the second round. See the ants? You see the ants? They're evacuating. So this is what you would call the butt end of the third round, and very, very minimal ant damage. And when you put the axe in it, just see that? Did I get that? When you put the axe in it, you can hear it really good. So one of the things that I've learned over my time of working in the woods is there's plenty of work here. You can work yourself to death anytime you want, but it's a really good idea to be smart about it. So one of the things I've done is that little sapling that was there, that's what you call a spring pole. That little sapling has tension on it, and that little sapling will whack you, and you'll learn real quick about tension on spring poles. So I cut it off, got a little bit out of my way, but I left it there because it's stabilizing this whole tree right now. So while the tree is stable and up off the ground, I went through, I marked it with my Wood Buddy every 16 inches, and I cut through, I don't know, almost all the way. It doesn't take much wood to hold it in place. So I cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far I've cut 5 rounds almost all the way through while the wood is off the ground. I don't have to bend over. Really easy. I'm not pinching my saw or putting it in the dirt or anything like that. So I'm cutting through this as much as I can while it's up off the ground and good and stable, and I'll go all the way down to that stump right there. A lot of things are going to change when I get into that stump. What kind of forces are in between that stump and that tree? The forces are going to change as I go down this tree and as I cut more off of it. So I just wanted to show you that a little bit of thinking goes a long way. And I only got my thinking through experience. So just like recovery to mental health, it requires us to do our thinking. Other people can't do our thinking for us. Nobody is out here in the woods with me right now. Nobody said, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I do it all on my own. I went and got training. I got experience. I learned how to use my brain, and I do my own thinking. So same thing with recovery. Thinking about what I can do to make me feel better is what it's all about. I waited 2 weeks. I got perfect wind. I got cloud cover. So far, it's a really good day, and I'm just really blessed to be out here in the woods and being able to share with you what I'm doing to improve my mental health. All right, till next time. Next time you'll see a lot of this on the ground. All right, till next time. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. I don't recommend it. I was running the saw with one hand and running my camera with the other. I don't recommend that. But one of the greatest things about doing this work is seeing those chips fly. You know, if you can rewind this and pay attention to it. Look at those chips. Look how big those chips are, how long those chips are. That is beautiful. That's cherry. Cherry is, you know, a lot easier to cut than a lot of other woods, you know, but it's a good wood, real good wood. But my chainsaw is sharp, and there is no feeling. Anybody who's ever ran a chainsaw knows one of the worst things about running a chainsaw is a dull chain. It is terrible, not fun. But when you got a sharp chain and a fast saw, it is fun to see those chips just flying. See that whole pathway right there of all those chips from where I've done all my bucking. So let me just show you this real quick. So I was bucking along, and I'd actually bucked that and moved on, and then that broke, and this whole piece just settled to the ground. And so all the planning in the world, I didn't plan for that to come down until I was ready, but I didn't save enough wood there. So things don't always go to plan, you know. And same thing recovery. Don't always go to plan, and you got to learn to keep on going. All right. So sharp chain and a fast saw. Just remember that. Nothing will put a smile on your face any faster, any better than, at least for me, sharp chain and a fast saw. Till next time. Well, there you go. I got that much of the tree on the ground. Right? That makes it a lot safer once it's on the ground. I just got to roll it a little bit and finish making these cuts, and I'll have that much wood ready to put on the little wagon and haul it out. But I want to share one of the things I just enjoy so much about being out here in the woods is you're working and you need a break and you gotta hydrate. So I always leave myself a round. They're 16 inches long, which is, for me, just perfect for a little stool. All those ants have evacuated, so don't seem to be a problem. So I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna take my water. I always bring 5 or 6 bottles of water with me, and when I'm on my last bottle, I'm working at getting out of the woods, because working in the woods without water is no good. So I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to enjoy this view, admire my work out here in God's beautiful creation. Happens to be Sunday morning, and you know, it's one of the most important parts of my recovery is my spirituality. I feel like, God grew all these trees, and there's a lot of trees in here that started growing way before I was even born. So I had nothing to do with these trees being put here, and I handle these trees very respectfully. That they're living creatures, they're given to me to be responsible for and do what's right with, and with the blessing of God, I get to use them to improve my mental health. So I'm going to sit here, hydrate, and just enjoy this little breeze I got. It's shade. It's, it just doesn't get much better than this, being in the woods. All right, till next time. Well, there you have it, folks. I got it down. I got it all bucked up. Everything went pretty good. I'm happy. Took me about 3 hours to do it. I admit only half of it was probably working. The rest of the time was hydrating, just being out here enjoying myself. But I got a little bonus feature for you. If you're a local subscriber, I made 5 cookies. These are called cookies. All right, just a nice little piece of wood that you can make into art, or just say you got it off of YouTube, whatever you want. A lot of people like to have these. So I got 5 of them. If you're one of the first 5 people that leave a comment, or you know me, you know how to get a hold of me locally, you'll get a cookie. All right, so I'm done. I'm down. I'm bucked up. I'm really happy. The sun's just starting to come out. I'm gonna clean up all my tools. To this point, I don't know if I'm gonna start hauling it today. We'll see how I feel. Go home, spend some time around the house with the wife, and just go from there. But great day. Got everything accomplished, and I feel good. Right? That's what it's all about. What can you do to make yourself feel better? And if you're working at overcoming depression, you spend more time doing things that make you happy, you feel better. It's really a simple process, right? And that's what I found worked for me. And I found it here in the woods. You can find it cooking, or child care, or fixing old cars, or whatever it is that really rings to your inner being. What makes you feel better? This is how I improved my mental health. So to the next time, we'll sign out now, and have a great day. And thank you for watching another video of the Chronicles of Don Weber Forest Recovery. Please hit subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you.